The highlight of today's video happens to be the mysterious alien creature known as River Ghost, one that was, in reality, Robert Anthony Rodriguez's manner of celebrating the abandoned Predator design from John McTiernan's 1987 movie. Yes, we're stressing on the original Predator flick here, starring our beloved Arnie, and while it is true that the River Ghosts were heavily featured in the earlier iterations of the co-screenwriters Alex Litvak and Michael Finch's Predator screenplay, its much larger presence was eventually brought down to just a few sequences in the final movie. Those who have seen Nimrod Antal's Predators will agree with us on this. A little bit of digging into past interviews led us to Antal stating to his fans and viewers his primary reason for doing so. He wanted to maintain his focus on the hunting party and the heroes of the film, which is why some other elements like the Predator dogs as well as the Falcon were also eliminated from the storyline. Well, this brings us to the main content of today's video, where we will be exploring the River Ghosts in detail and also spill some very interesting stuff about them. Are you ready? Let's dive right into it then. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Who are the River Ghosts? Meet the sentient alien species who also were deemed as worthy prey and dropped on the game-preserved planet along with the humans, so as to be hunted by the super predators. Now, to those of you wondering why they were valued as worthy hunts by the predators, well, it is believed to be because of their spectacular speed, agility, and let us not disregard their levels of intelligence here. If you have seen Nimrod Antal's Predators, you will remember Royce and team stumbling upon a cage that had some kind of moleskin and cockroach-like insects scurrying inside. Of course, the group initially does not realize what they're dealing with, but with the creatures later running through the jungle and still not catching the former's attention, the humans decide to take one of them down by setting traps for him, and also making use of the character Edwin as a bait for the creature. While the River Ghost on display is smart enough to avoid all the traps laid out for him and nearly catches Edwin in a chase, he eventually gets killed thanks to a fatal shot from Nolan, a survivor of the previous hunting sessions. With Royce and team assembling to see what took the hit, they come across the corpse of a creature that is to an extent humanoid in terms of appearance, but at the same time has an insect-like exoskeleton which covers almost the whole part of the body. Also, add to this small insectoid-like organisms as seen earlier crawling out of his exoskeleton. Compared to the earlier drafts of the film, the role of the River Ghost was shrunk to mere seconds, giving the creature very little screen time. The alien was originally supposed to play a more substantial part, which had him stalk the humans for a good portion of the movie, leading them to believe that it was the alien who was accountable for their abduction in the first place. Sadly, that was not the case, and the River Ghost never even made it to the comic adaptation of Predators. Anatomy of the River Ghosts. Their humanoid appearance is quite a bit of a contrast when it comes to their pale insect-like exoskeleton, which covers a majority of their bodies. These insectoid aliens shockingly do not possess eyes, although facially speaking they do not have what look like eye sockets on the very front of their heads. However, what they do visibly have is some kind of an unspecified sensory organ, one that is covered by this movable flap of bone housed at the center of the forehead. They have nasty-looking teeth which are seen extending forward from a gaping mouth that is presumed to be on what look like plates of bone. Oh, they also seem to possess these excessively large talons in their hands, which if you ask us, make them quite the threatening challengers in any battle for that matter. And last but not the least, they also have these wing-like bony protrusions jutting out of their backs. As seen in the 2010 movie, it is only fitting to state that these River Ghosts tend to have a symbiotic bond with the small insects that reside within the small openings on their exoskeleton. Now, we do not exactly know what purpose these insects serve, but what can be theorized is that the insects sort of take care of the River Ghost's exoskeleton by keeping them clean from bacteria or similar other parasites. Mind you, it is entirely a hypothesis and we still do not know the real reason. The concept design of the River Ghost. By now, it should not come as a surprise to you at all when we tell you that the River Ghost is basically nothing but a slightly modified version of the original, ultimately discarded Predator design from 1987. Coming back to the concept design of these insectoid aliens for Predators, the goal was to come up with a creature that did not bear any resemblance even remotely with the Yautja. These creatures were eventually termed as River Ghosts when one of the early drafts of the movie featured them near a river and they were so agile fragile that they were only seen for maybe like a fraction of a second. They almost appeared like an apparition or something, and hence the name River Ghost. The creature in the earlier drafts was also addressed as Red Herring and Ram Runner. Now, as we take a closer look at the creature effects, full credits go to Greg Nicotero from KNVFX for breathing life into the creature and making him look so disturbingly alive. We'd like to go into the details here, so we suggest we have your full attention. Since the production schedule for Predators was extremely tight, it ultimately led to the concept artist John Wheaton only managing to deliver roughly 2 concept designs of the River Ghost, while also keeping in mind that his designs had to be completely different from the Yautja on display. Coming back to Nicotero, he has also given credits to 2 other monster designs which have served as major inspirations for the River Ghost: the Erosive Guyver and the Metaluna Mutant from the Guyver films and This Island Earth respectively. No wonder there was a time when the River Ghost was also addressed as the Guyver alien. Blame it on the time issues that the design process of the River Ghosts leaped straight from concept art to final full-size suit sculpture, and it took about 10 straight days to have the suit sculpted. The suit was meant to look very organic, and that is why the whole team made use of shells, rocks, barks, as well as bones of animals to attain that perfect texture. In contrast to the insectoid anatomy of the concept designs, the limbs and body of the River Ghost were deliberately made thicker and muscular, and post-production, the plantigrade legs were replaced with digitigrade's legs with a particularly elongated metatarsal section. Also, kudos to sound designer Paula Fairfield for an amazing job, one that led every viewer into thinking, what would the River Ghosts actually turn up as? When you first hear them, you will feel like they are birds, but then they will make you think that they are insects. Lastly, as a River Ghost is seen closing in on the prey almost shrieking, it will make you think again. They are so fast, you can barely get a glance at them, and all that is left is your imagination. Theory around River Ghosts. This will be interesting as we are about to tie Dan Trachtenberg's Prey with Nimrod and Tal's Predators together, and we are pretty sure that you just did not see this coming. Mind you, our focus, however, will not be on the storyline of Prey, but on the feral Predator's mask on display. To everyone believing all this time that the skull mask of the Predator was more like his aesthetical choice, well, here is what we really think happened. The feral Predator, as we all have witnessed in Prey, was given what is fittingly appropriate to say a dramatic makeover with a horde of deadly primitive weapons at his disposal. This naturally brings our attention to his mask, which was anything but human. If we're being honest, a closer look into the mask and you will find striking resemblance to the sensory organ that is situated at the center of the River Ghost's forehead. Now, as seen in Predators, the River Ghosts were dropped on the game reserve planet along with the humans to be hunted, and this explains how the feral Predator may have come into possession of their skulls. While it has not been stated clearly, but this does leave one thinking if the Predator acquired that during a hunt or an expedition to the home world of the River Ghosts.
I hate this. Oh.
Marvelous verdict. Well, that is all for today, and with this we finally come to the end of our video here. So what did you fancy the most about the River Ghost? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We feel it'd be really interesting to learn more about them, especially their backstory, and we're totally game for their expansion in any media for that matter. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please do leave a thumbs up, and also please stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.